Everybody, it's me, Andrew. Get out into nature and tune in for yourself. Resonate with the Earth's electromagnetic field via 432 Hertz, the universal frequency. Balance out psychologically and emotionally, and further strengthen your brain and your heart's coherence as well. Get a plant-based diet going for yourselves today and nurture yourself right back into life. We are literally herbivores in our nature. Further balance out your physical body's pH level and to get with alkalinity, then you can generate some static electricity. Send me some love telepathically, set attention to your mind, and set intention to communicate. That is all there is to telepathy. You are now tuning in to great days. So today I'm going to go over nonsense. Just because I don't want to stick to any topic, right? I'm just going to talk about some things, about whatever comes up, right? So, definitely begin with breaking the fast this evening, which the 3-day fast was incredibly vitalizing for me. The 72 hours without food definitely allowed my energy to come up into a cleaner state of itself, right? And this had me in a very, very light vibration. So most definitely a great fast without water as well. So I didn't have any water. I'm going to break this fast in a bit, right? But nothing too intense, right? 72 hours. So definitely enjoyed the weekend, right? Monday, no plan. But I also wanted to go over being of the earth, right? So what I mean by this being of the earth is the body is pretty much accumulation of the earth that we live on, right? We are inhabitants of the earth, and the earth is a body in itself, right? It's an organism. You are an organism. If you look at your whole body in a mirror, you are an organism just as the earth is. They are one and the same. You are a fractalized manifestation of the earth, meaning you are a fractal design of the earth itself, right? So you can see yourself in the mirror, and it is it's fractal in its design. So you reflect the earth very, very intimately, closely. So the body that you have is very it's just a piece of the earth. It's literally just water, dirt, and the other elements, right? Which everything is. Everything is just earth and water and the other elements. It's a combination of all the elements, which we would be using 5. I don't use the periodic elements because these are only periodical, and the other are are more central, right? Plus there's more periodic elements that are distributed, displayed, because they create them. So the 5 elements is what everything is combined of geometrically, and everything is a geometrical organization or a geometrical formulation. The entire body can be derived and seen as geometry. I'm just a geometrical form. Everything is math. Whoever says that it's not is not in the knowledge of everything is being math, right? Because everything is math. That's the divine design of things. Mathematics is the universal language. It's not. See, they didn't tell you this in school. They never mentioned once that math is a language, but it's a language. Maybe it's subliminal, or maybe it's subconscious, that you should know that mathematics is a language since we've used it for so long as a collection. But it's a language like English, like Spanish, like Cuban, like Hindu, like any language, hieroglyphic, Egyptian hieroglyphics. It's all symbolism, right? So you can get into the symbolism of things, and you can derive the deeper esoteric meanings of each symbol, right? Because each symbol is relating to a energetical form that can be derived in a deeper perception of things, which would be the easiest way to derive the energetical formulations and correspond them to the symbols we're using in the correspond in this dimension, right? Which is the third, or just this dimension, that this perception, right? So mathematics is a language, right? You can read the universe as mathematical languaging. In fact, you're already doing it, because this is a language that everybody's using. This is why we learn mathematics in the first place, right? Because we are literally expressing mathematical coding in our very day-to-day life. The math that they're teaching in school is inferior to the math that you can just derive from natural experience. By this, I mean that the mathematics they're teaching in the school systems, or in the school systems where I picked up from, it are nothing, right? They're very, very minute in what they have to tell us as a language. They're just there to support a type of system of ignorance. So the math is there. They're teaching you math because you need to know math as a language, but because they're teaching you, they get to choose what area of the entire language that you're going to use. It's like coming to America and only using a certain piece of English, a very minute amount of English to talk with. There's much more mathematics that can be derived from deeper dimensions of experience. So instead of just learning from the institution, what would be best is for you to go into deeper dimensions of experience and really derive the mathematics in that way. Because then you can go beyond the language barriers, and you can go beyond any type of dominating or oppressing, corrupting factors, factorization, because it's all the factory in the matrix, right? By this I mean you're just a clone, and you're being recreated as a robotic individual to continue in that cycle of eat, sleep, and work. Everybody's doing that too. I know plenty of people who are doing this. Eat, sleep, and work. The moment that you dive into any type of deeper experience, you can then break through into a cognition which is going to allow you to see that little cycle of torture and minuteness or triviality, and the immense tiredness that comes with it, right? If that makes any sense, because it makes you very tired. But you're only able to see the tiredness if you're able to kind of go up a little bit higher so that you can see the cyclings, right? So it's best to do what brings you joy, because joy is life, right? That's how you keep yourself going. Otherwise, things become very dreadful, and you don't want to fall into withering, because then the flower withers. You have to blossom it with light. You have to teach yourself lessons. Otherwise, you're never going to become lighthearted. but the universe is very autonomous when it teaches lessons in this way. I mean, it's kind of its own. It's a creation. It's type of. It creates gods. The universe, right? The universe is an organism, just like the earth is an organism, right? And you were also fractal designed in accordance to the macrocosmic. You are the microcosmic to the macrocosmic, which would be the universe. The universe is one organism as well, and it's omniscience, and that means all knowledgeable. The universal mind is all knowledgeable because it's everything, and you are that because you are just a fractal design of it, right? Like the fragmentation of the source of consciousness, or the source of being, when it fragmentizes itself from a singularity, it goes into multiple infinite pieces, but each of those pieces are holistically the whole in itself, because each piece is reflecting the whole. So the fragmentation is a type of illusion that takes place. So let me see. Mathematics is a language. Everybody uses mathematics on some on a very, very integral level, on the fundamental level, because everything is mathematics. You don't even have to word it in a mathematical fashion in order to be expressing out any mathematics. Each word I'm saying is all a type of sequencing, because they're sound sequences. There's ratios in everything. Everything is mathematics. You go to a garden, you're going to see that each and every plant, life, species is growing in a mathematical coding. If you have the lens to see it, you have to open up the mind a little bit. Not much though, because we use mathematics as a language, right? So it's very important to be able to see it out in the reality, not just on a piece of paper, right? So we are just the earth. We are just an accumulation of the earth, right? We are inhabitants of the earth. We are just cells of the earth. The earth is a body, and we are a specific type of cell that is creating the earth's body. I have skin cells. Every one of my skin cells is binding together to create the organ of skin. Each one of the human cells, or each one of the human bodies as a cell, is is collecting together to inhabit the earth and build the earth on a certain level to sustain the earth's body in a certain way, or even cause destruction to it. The earth doesn't care. The earth cares, but it can survive no matter what destruction is going to happen to it, in a sense, right? If we do really pose a threat to the earth in a type of cancerous way, then the earth's immune system will immediately kick in and take the entire or most of the human race out, if we are actually a disease to it. But it can easily handle these types of things, right? Because it's a higher being. We're living inside of it. We're living inside our own body, because all is one self. That's very, very simple. There's only one self, one being. There's no other being. Everything is just a reflection of you. All of life is a reflection of your inner state of being. If you wake up happy in the morning and you sustain that gracefulness, everything in your day is extremely graceful. If you wake up extremely angry and miserable and depressed or whatever it is, everything in that day is going to correspond to how you are feeling within yourself. You could wake up depressed and the whole day is just so gloomy and depressing, because everything's happening within you. All of life is a reflection of your inner state of being. It's very, very simple piece of wisdom, right? So come into the core of being, your heart, and just be joyful. The deeper you go into the heart, the more that you can experience deeper and deeper states of bliss. And the more that you are able to experience the deepest states of bliss, you can have an extremely blissful experience. And the more that you learn to sustain that, or just be in that, or experience it, the more that all of life is going to be blissful. And you can light the flame for everybody around you, because it's an extremely contagious, lightful energy, right? Very, very simple. And you don't have to do too much to experience that bliss within yourself. All you have to do is turn inwards slowly. You're going to be able to touch upon the heart deep enough to experience blissfulness, because it's already there. Everybody is blissful. All that is happening when it comes to you not being blissful or miserable is that you're making an excuse to be miserable, or you're conflicting yourself into being miserable. By this I mean you're just you're in a kind of an addiction to being miserable. So you kind of outfit yourself with the misery, and that is what is keeping you away from deeper states of bliss, which are already there. So you can learn that the misery and all that is just an excuse, or is just an addiction that you have picked up. And if not an addiction, then it's just a type of radical, when things should be just simple, period, right? Absolutely neutral. So you can come into a completely reflective state where you can reflect infinity into yourself and come into formlessness, which you will come into states of bliss. Very simple, right? But that's going to be it for today's video. I do thank everybody for watching. Once again, peace out, one love, and have a great evening.